Okay, welcome to a new video. It's a new month and we've got a new model to put together. So as you can see right here in front of me, we've got the RMS Mauretania, the sister ship to the Lusitania, and we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get right into it. Alright, so I'm just about ready to start gluing some pieces onto the hull. Most of the painting is complete at this stage. And I was consulting my Facebook group, that the modeling group that I'm in, and another person had built this exact same model, and they said to, when you start building it, basically treat it like a cake. You know, you start building up. And that's kind of what the directions show anyway. So you start off with the bow here, the forecastle deck, and the stern is one big piece. You can see that over here. And yep, you just stack them up. And here's the bridge. And as you do it, you just keep on adding the smaller pieces. So that's what I am ready to get started on right now. Okay, so I've got the glue in place for the forecastle deck, and here we go. And there she is. I'm gonna let that dry for a minute before I apply anything else. But the stern will definitely be next, and it's going to fit in something like this. So the forecastle is in place. It's been drying for a good while, and I've got the glue on the stern ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that right now. As soon as I can get it to cooperate. That's as good as it's gonna get. Actually went in there pretty flush. Looks pretty good. I'm just gonna let it Put some rubber bands on it to keep it down, so it's so the deck stays flush with the rest of the hull, and let it dry up. All right, and next deck going into place. All right, putting another one of the upper decks on top of the ship here. Again, I've got the glue in place like I've been doing. And we're going to definitely need rubber bands for this one because this piece is sort of flimsy. And I've been practicing putting it on before I actually applied the glue. And there it is. I'm trying to get the deck flush with the hull. Now I'm definitely going to need the rubber bands to do that. It's time to put the uppermost deck on. I would assume Cunard calls this the boat deck, just like White Star did, but I'm not 100% certain. It took a little modding on this one to get this deck lined up correctly, and I attribute that to more to how the model was designed. With these two side pieces, they just stand up. There's nothing really locking them in place, so you just kind of have to eyeball it to make sure you've got it all lined up correctly. Now, of course, I've got that done. We need to get some rubber bands on this. It's going to take a while for this to dry, I would think. All that's really left is once we get that on, we've got these three pieces here. This is what remains as far as putting decks onto the ship. This will be this goes here where that'll be the bridge. This one sits on top of here, and then this goes back here. And after that, it'll be the final, we'll go into like the final phase basically, which will be putting the masts on, all the lifeboats, the funnels, the propellers. As you know, if you've watched my previous videos, I always say the propellers for last, because I'm always moving the models around and I tend to bump them on the table. So it's just easier to to leave them off until the very end. That way there's no risk of any damage to them while the build is going on. All right, so in the process of painting the funnels, and this is what I've come up with so far. What I ended up doing was mixing these two Tamiya colors. It's a flat red and a flat yellow to get that orange type look. And, you know, it was called cunard red, but it was really more of an orange color that they painted on the funnels. And I feel like this is a pretty accurate representation of that. I tried doing this with the Queen Mary when I was building that ship, but I just could not get it right for some reason. I don't know if it was because, you know, I wasn't getting the ratios right in the paint, or was it just enamels, but these are acrylic paints. And I feel like this is pretty close to what's in that photo. And I'll bring in the Queen here for a minute. Of course, the Queen also is a cunard ship, a younger, bigger cousin of the Mauretania. And you can see they are in this deep red. And again, it was because I could not get the color of the funnels or the paint the way I felt it should be. So I just went ahead and gave up and painted these funnels in the red that they currently are. So it's still accurate to the ship, but it's just not accurate to what was originally on the ship. So I just wanted to show you what I did in order to get the color that I needed. And I do not know the ratios. I basically just eyeballed it, and I'm happy with how this is going to turn out. Putting the last piece of decking onto the ship, which is going to go over here on the stern, like so. And with that, all of the decking is on the ship now. And you notice I've been starting to put some of the small pieces on, a few of the cowl vents. The Mauretania had a ton of cowl vents, more than the Lusitania did. There's just one thing that kind of makes me laugh when I look at this ship. So you can see over here, this is the docking bridge. Every ship had them. Titanic had it, Olympic, Lusitania, Queen Mary, every ship back then, you name it, they had it. But this one, on this particular model, is so bare bones and lack of detail. It almost looks like a rear spoiler on a car to me than it does a docking bridge. So, and I just can't unsee it. So we've got the Mauretania Sport Edition. She hits 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. She's probably got a V12 in her. But anyway, that's it as far as, again, as far as all the decking. You see, I've repainted the tops of the funnels. About to start installing the funnels, the rest of the cowl vents, the lifeboats, the masts, and the decals and the propellers. And yep, we're probably about 80% done at this stage. Okay, so that's going to conclude part 1 of the building of the Mauretania. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to tune in to next week's video where you will get to see the completed model, and I'm happy to, or looking forward to showing it to you guys, because I was really excited with the way this model is coming out, and I can't wait to show it off to you. So stay tuned again for that video, and in the meantime, of course, drive safely.